Hi, I'm Chan,
Hi, I'm Yo.
and this is
MUMxiety.
MUMxiety.
Welcome to the first episode of MUMxiety, where we talk about different aspects of being moms to either human kids, pet kids. I don't know what other kids you might have.
Yeah,
So, why did we decide to start this podcast?
we like to talk.
Sis likes to yap.
Yeah. So basically, it's like we always hear like the moms on social media and like probably different podcast hosts, like they're always talking about how nice parenthood is, how nice like parenthood is, and like people always saying, yeah, 我不要有孩子啦，我不用紧，我养宠物就好了咯。So our dear friend, our dear friend Yo here, she is one of them, and then so comes to this topic: is it really easier when you have like fur kids instead of like real kids?
I think the both of us were currently like truly in the throes of it, right? Like, you have a kid who just turned 1.
Oh yeah,
I have a dog who has not turned 1, maybe like 8 months, 9 months at this point in time. And we've had her for about almost half a year now. And so I think in the throes of it, is it really easier? I mean, who has it easier? Why is it even a competition though?
I don't know. People always say like, 动物比较容易耶，好像
屁啦！
你不用，你不用想你要怎样去教它，你不用想怎样去，就是 like in the future if 它出社会会不会造成like disruption to society， 然后去杀人 or whatever 这样。Not say 狗不会杀人，有些狗也是会杀人。
Okay, to be fair, right? Okay, I think that's a valid concern. So, okay, going back to like why I have a dog, and I'm one of those who don't want kids. Okay, to be fair, growing up I wanted one, right? And then as you get older, it's like why have kids, right? And I think for me, what you brought up was a very good point in terms of like I didn't really want a kid. I don't want kids also because like there's that responsibility, right, to bring them up to be functioning members of society. Yes lah, dog also need to be functioning member of society.
Like what they function like bug.
But correct. So like I mean you have
这样
those
function.
like there are legit right communities right that discuss right like badly behaved dogs, how to ensure that your dog is not a menace in society and stuff like that. And to be very honest, right, I mean I feel like it's important. Like the baseline is 你的狗不要去打扰别人 when you bring them out. You know what I mean? Like fair. Like you cannot have a dog that you bring out and then they're like yapping at people, barking at people, jumping on people, that kind of thing lah. Like when you bring your dog out, you need to make sure that your dog knows how to behave minimally.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, you don't want to on the street. I mean, you go out, so a lot of people scared dog. What?
But I'm really not aware of the judgment. Like like kids like normal lah. On the like probably like on the plane you see a kid, then you gonna stuck there 20 hours and you see the kid. Oh, why like that? So I don't know it's the same for dogs because I honestly speaking I haven't had enough interaction in this like circles.
So I never used to have it also, right? So like, okay, so growing up, I've always had dogs in the family, like extended family. So my relatives all got many dogs. And to me, I see the dogs, it's like, I always see it in the house setting. We hardly go out with them. And when we do, it's also like dog beach. Everybody misbehaves together, right? You just run like whatever, right? So you don't really think about it so much until you actually own the dog yourself, right? And then you realize that then you join more dog communities. Then you realize that people do actually comment about other dogs' behaviors, or like they take photo one
Huh? Like poop everywhere or
yeah.
okay.
Or like they go out, right? Like you go out, they see helpers walking the dog, right? Then okay, I mean cause it's kind of not very nice lah. Like the helpers like very absently walking the dog, or like the helpers just like drag the dogs along. They take photo one
But it's the same thing, what? Absently walking the kids, absently
lah.
like let the kid like play and eat the sand or whatever lah. I've been seeing this so like really.
No, but I think like generally the tolerance for kids is a bit higher than the tolerance for dogs. Maybe it's cause they're not humans. You know what I mean?
For kids, not as in
like okay, baby cry, you know all baby does is cry. Honestly lah, huh?
But dog also bark ma.
Exactly. But dog bark will gonna complain. Baby cry, you maybe like cry 3 months, then they gonna complain one time.
then the baby like
The baby also problem lah. Maybe the complaint is for the parent lah.
yeah.
Actually,
Actually,
like child abuse, right? Or like negligence.
yeah. So probably both sides also will complain to the parent 嘛，对吗？
对啦, like they complain to the parent, but like I feel like as a dog owner now, and like the tolerance towards pets are a lot lower. I feel also cause like not everybody has a pet, so when like a dog barks, right? Honestly, dogs bark ah. Else how they talk, how they communicate with you.
Same thing lah. The kids also 小孩子一定要哭，不然他怎么跟你讲他要什么东西
Right. So like I mean, as much as I would like to, so like legit we got a complaint before.
Oh, huh?
Yeah. So we first brought the dog home. As with all dogs, you go to a new environment, confirm they bark, right? Regardless, I can sleep next to them, right? They will still bark throughout the night because it's an unfamiliar environment. But also because if I want to set them up for success, I need to tahan through this one. I cannot, they bark, I go and sayang, they bark, I go and sayang. Then they will bark their whole lives.
Need to censor.
never say anything. But they will bark their whole lives and I cannot correct that. So I also need to tahan 1 week. At least lah. I mean, I mentally prepare. I tahan 1 week, then it gets better ma. Or like when we go out also, I cannot be at home all day, every day. We all need to work. It's Singapore, it's 2025. We everything is expensive, right? We all need to go and work. So of course the dog's gonna be home alone. And of course they're gonna bark. But in our first week of bringing her home, we got a complaint already. And they didn't even come and speak to us directly. They went to tell our security guard and got our security guard to come and speak to us. Just like, also like, if you have a problem with me and you knew exactly which unit it was, because the security guard didn't have to do any investigation, they came directly to us. They can't speak to me about it lah. Then I'll just explain to you that I'm so sorry, like, this is a new dog and like, it's just adjustment timings. Like, everyone needs some adjustment, right?
Pegro Singaporean.
Right. So
scared. 他上去然后你开门
Which is like,
Funko.
we're all trying to be good neighbors.
放狗咬了
If only my dog could do that. Poor girl doesn't bite anybody else.
But no lah. I mean, like, you wouldn't want a dog to do that also.
Exactly lah.
Yeah.
Kena complain, I don't know what else lah. Let's not go there.
已经很够力了 but then again, right, like, so because you don't want to have kids, then you chose to have a fur kid. Then what is like the like they both, you see lah, the fur kid barks, the kid makes
cries.
noise. Both also got noise, right? Then what's easier for like
At this point in time, right, maybe I'm just honestly through the throes of it, right? I cannot tell you what exactly is easier because throughout my whole time, right, now that I am a fresh new like fur kid owner, right, and I compare with you guys, like y'all are new parents to newlyborns and toddlers, right? Honestly, I feel like our lives are pretty much the same. You got playpen in your house, I got playpen in my house. Your kid sleep is the best time for you, my dog sleep is the best time for me, right? Like, and we go through the same kind of training cycles. Like, the dog never take nap grumpy. Your kid never take nap we're grumpy.
yes,
We're cranky.
yeah, same thing.
Right? So, I mean, honestly, I feel like maybe because my dog is still a puppy, right? And she also is still growing, still learning everything. But at this point, to me, is it any easier? I don't think so. Say I everyday 80班尿 How many times I need to clean pee and poop off the ground because we're trying to teach her where to go correctly, right? Your potty training time will come. So.
Yeah, I think it's going to come very soon.
Exactly.
Very soon. She holds my hand and then she just like
So cute.
and then I'm like, do you make a poo poo? And she's like, no. She ran away. And then after I check her diaper, oh wow, it's a mess in there.
Yeah, my mess will be like, I mean, on very great days, my mess is all contained in a tray or like done properly outside lah. On bad days when she's just not having it, it's like half on the mat, then she go and lick or like she bite. It's just like dog, right? So if you ask me, is it really easier? Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I think it's pretty much the same. I think the only difference might come later where as you watch a human kid grow and you nurture them, there's a lot more, in a sense, that process of that, because humans are so much more cognitive and sensitive as compared to dogs, right? And it's that portion of nurturing, I guess, for humans, where there's so many nuances to it. I don't need to gentle parent my dog. I mean, not that gentle parenting is bad or good or whatever. Let's
Who
not go
says you
there.
have to gentle parent your kid? I'm an Asian parent.
That's great.
You know, we do it the Asian way.
That's great.
Like-
just don't give your kid trauma. Thanks.
No trauma lah. Like eating things like she's not supposed to eat.
Hey, but my dog does that too.
So 打屁股 right? I mean, I don't know about the dogs lah, but for kids, like Asian kids, why not 打屁股 right?
That's
Like
true, yeah.
standard like, yeah. Those who are listening, if you're Asian, confirm 打屁股 before. Confirm right? Confirm 打屁股 before. guys.
Who never tell me.
Who never raise hand.
But so honestly, I don't think that in terms of rearing them at least, like you talk about kids picky eating, my stupid dog also picky. And honestly, a lot of dogs have their quirks and all that also, and it's a matter of figuring out. So in terms of rearing the dog, growing a kid, I don't think anyone has it easier in that sense.
Here's my take. I think 小孩子比较容易.
There.
I'm a parent to like a very naughty 1+year-old kid, and I feel 小孩子比较容易，因为 like for one is like 你要带她去哪里? Like if you want to go anywhere, you just have to bring her along. But dogs, it's not like accepted like as much as kids. Like restaurants, you have to find specific ones. Then
Welcome to Singapore.
yeah, then even like if you want to go overseas, you just bring your kid lah. You know, you pay a bit more for the kid seat or like or whatever it is lah. But you can bring the kid along. But for dogs, you have to either leave the dog at home, leave it with someone, or put it in like what is it called?
Boarding.
Yeah, the boarding places where like a lot of bad news right came out like a couple of years ago.
Damn.
Yeah, so I think more coordination arrangements needs to be done lah. 就是比较多.
I guess in that sense, yes. I think for now, I mean, a lot of people with pets, like I said, like I've seen in my cousins, my aunts, my relatives, all that. I think the biggest difference between them rearing a dog and me rearing a dog was that they all had helpers. So they never had a problem of go overseas dog howl.
Oh, okay.
Go out to work dog howl alone, because there was always someone with the dog. And otherwise, because your family members are okay with dogs, you can just 寄at 他们的家, you know, then you go overseas, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay, that is if you have a very strong support system lah.
Correct, which I guess similar with kids.
Yeah, very similar with kids
Correct.
also.
For me, I think my challenge came because one, I don't have a helper, right? So everything I do myself. If we both go to work, my dog's at home by herself, unfortunately. I mean, we were very lucky because my husband works shifts, right? So his roster is not a fixed kind of roster. So there are days that he is home the whole day. And I get to work from home 2 days a week. So technically, if you don't talk about like appointments and stuff, right, I'm home kind of like 4 days a week. Only 3 days I need to go to the office, right? So in that sense, we have a bit of that flexibility, but there will be the unfortunate days where poor kid's at home for like 9-10 hours by herself lah, and it's a matter of getting used to it. She needs to get used to it too and stuff like that. I mean, I think increasingly also with COVID, with a lot of people working from home and stuff like that, sometimes you see online, like, people say you cannot leave dogs alone for more than like 3-4 hours.
Why?
Okay, so a lot of people say you cannot do that, right? Because anxiety. Dogs also got separation anxiety.
Oh, okay.
But it's understandable because dogs are pack animals, right? So dogs have always had pack mentality within them, and they don't do well alone, ma.
Then if you have 4 dogs,
Right, so a lot of people say you get a dog to accompany your dog, then they don't have separation anxiety.
Yeah.
But again, no, dogs 没有容易养的啦. Okay, like dogs 没有这样容易养的啦, right? So I know of people who have 4 dogs at home, 5 dogs in fact, or like many. Do we have many 5? No, I think Singapore the limit is 4.
Is it? Got limit meh?
Have. Even for private property, got limit one.
No limit for babies, man. They encourage you.
There's that also, right?
Yes.
So even with pets, cats, dogs, there are limits. I mean, of course, the way is just you don't report lah. But nowadays, I think if I'm not wrong, new regulations, all pets need licenses lah. So there is
Birth cert.
yeah, pretty much.
You can collect SG60 gift pack.
Don't have. See?
Yeah, guys, if you're thinking of having a kid, do it this year. SG60 gift pack.
SG60 gift pack, maternity.
Yeah, I think baby bonus got more, huh?
Baby bonus, I can't remember if got more, but I know paternity leave is going up.
I remember the
Shed leave is going
gift
up.
pack.
I got gift back also like this year. You want
Yeah,
letter from the Prime Minister.
Yeah, so cool, right, guys? Getting a letter from the Prime Minister for your kid. Congratulations.
But yeah, so going back to that, I think like what you mentioned, bringing a kid out is so much easier than bringing a dog out.
And food also. I think food wise, like after the kid starting on solids, like less requirement for like very, unless you are like the very specific kind of parent, like if you are just a regular parent who needs to work, you just slave your life away to feed your kids and everyone else. You basically feed them whatever you're eating also.
Pretty much, yes. Okay, to be fair, dogs also you can do that.
Oh.
I mean, not that you feed them exactly what you're eating, but there are people that prepare human food for dogs lah. But it's just that like prepare for young kids lor, no salt, no oil.
But I have friends
boil the food.
who's like dogs. I mean, have like super loud allergies, guys.
Yes. So I mean, amongst the friends that we know, their dogs also have allergies, and I think so again, right? This whole feeding thing, when you're finally in the dog community, right, you realize that things that you never realized were actually conversations are like huge ass things. Like, do you feed the dog kibble? Do you feed the dog like cooked food? Do you feed the dog like raw food, freeze dried food? Like, there's a whole freaking argument and discourse. And like honestly, I don't want to be that kind of person, but I feel like my take on raising my dog is yes, she is my pet. I am an owner. But she's still a dog.
Who is owning who now?
So, as much as I would like to make sure that she has a good life, and honestly, I feel like she has a great life. Okay? Like, she everyday pee, poop, sleep, play,
True.
eat. That's all her life revolves around, right? But I feel like I'm the kind of person that, as much as I would like to give her a good life, it still needs to fit into my existing lifestyle.
Okay, fair
right?
enough.
And I don't think we can say that for a child. You know what I mean?
Why not? You can after a certain age lah. Similarly for kids, right? As a mom, when I first had my kid, then when I was in confinement, like even my own mom also say, 哎呀，她很饿 lah. Every time she cry, 她很饿 lah. 你没有奶. Like maybe it's too much info for you guys, but just FYI, when I had my kid, I don't have a lot of supply lah for the milk, but my husband and I just don't care about it as long as the kid is not starving. We'll find any methods. We just feed her and she stops crying and she's living and alive and kicking. We're very chill parents in this era, I would say. So we're fine, like totally fine with like formula. But like my parents 就一直在那边讲说我妈妈啦，一直讲，你没有奶嘞。Every time she cry, 没有奶嘞。Actually she poop, then 你没有奶嘞。Actually she just too cold嘞。Everything also 你没有奶嘞。It's all your problem. So yeah, that's why moms get MUMxiety.
True. It's such a struggle. But so back to the whole dog food discourse, right? Like I said lah, honestly, the dog just also needs to fit into my lifestyle. And so I have friends that feed kibbles. I have friends that feed a mixture, kibble and like cooked food, kibble and freeze-dried food. I have friends that feed fully cooked food. Also because like dogs have allergies and stuff like that. Honestly, my puppy seems fine. She's on a fully kibble diet because do I have energy to cook for her every day? No. Do I even cook for myself every day? No. So I'm not gonna have the energy to come back from a full day of work and cook for my dog. I don't even cook for myself, right? My husband takes leave when I'm sick because he's like, else you're not gonna eat. True, fair, because I won't feed myself, right? So yeah, so like that happens. So with everybody is like, everybody says raw is better. Cooked food is better, kibbles are so processed, it's not good for your dog and stuff like that. But what if all your budget can afford are kibbles?
And what if that's what your dog wants
Correct.
to eat?
And what if all the time you have is just to scoop a spoonful of kibble, give it to the dog and feed the dog, right? I mean, I am lucky that my dog is quite food motivated, right? She has her moments where she's picky and she's been on the same kibble since we started and it's worked for her. She's starting to be a bit picky about the kibbles, but it comes and goes in phases lah. There are days when she just eats less, doesn't really want to eat. Next day she's completely fine. So I think honestly, if it works lah, right? At this point in time, we go to the vet regularly. Doesn't seem to have any issues.
Just make sure alive, kicking,
right,
thriving.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want her to fall sick because then it's gonna be hard on her. It's gonna be tough on us and everybody as well. But she looks fine, eats fine, drinks fine. place, fine.
then that's fine. Like who are the other people to judge?
Right?
Right.
So much better than the dogs that are like that no one cares for and things like that, right?
Yeah,
or like you
like-
have owners and they don't care about you.
Yeah, like we also feed our kid like regular food, and then people around us just judge. Like my kid is like 1.5, almost 1.5, and like we just eat like like pretty plain food. 还有什么鱼肉米粉、鱼片米粉 all these things, and we add a bit of hot water to it. Just feed it to her. People say 不可以啦，你要煮给他，小朋友不可以吃那么咸，不可以这个，不可以那个。The same as screen time 啦 ，the same thing 啦，你不可以这个，不可以那个 ，everything 不可以，那你带我孩子啦，我带嘞。Like everything right for moms, right? Agree or not, moms?
Yes. I think
You
I
do
can
you.
I'm not a mom to a child, but I can agree with that.
I
Like
think it's the same for fur kids also.
it's the same. It's your kid, your pet, right? I get that other people who have had experience might want to share their experience. Fine, that's great and all. You can share. I can listen. Do I want to do it is another thing. And if I don't do it, then don't judge me.
And whatever floats the parents and the kids' boat.
Right?
Yeah.
Like honestly guys, it's 2025 once again. You're just trying to survive.
Yeah, so those who are listening, you touch your own heart. Ask yourself, have you ever given this kind of advice to people?
If yes, shut up next time.
Yeah, it's causing them anxiety, like mom anxiety to be specific, because the fathers don't care.
They really don't.
They feel like then 讲啦，都不关我的事 right? 给他讲哦 but you know sometimes as the main caregiver, it really gets to you. Like it's you don't really intentionally want to feel that, but just somehow like part of your heart just feel like 是不是我没有做对？是不是我没有做好？是不是我做错？ Right.
Yes. Sadly, yes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you have a fur kid and you don't worry about these kind of things, okay? It doesn't mean that just because you have a fur kid, it's easier because you don't have to worry about doing right by them. You still do because they are a living, breathing thing there that you need to keep alive. I guess if you really don't want that much commitment, try plants.
No, plants also breathing one ma. They also 烂掉 one eh.
That is true. We have a friend's husband who's damn into plants. Like
yeah,
oh,
correct.
Oh, whoa, don't touch his plants, bro.
Maybe we should invite him one day, like as plant parent. How do you feel?
Idea next episode.
Yeah, probably we can KIV this guy. Because like, you know, if you have like a living, breathing thing, you bring them into your life, then probably you are considered as a parent also.
It's true.
Yeah, regardless of human, fur babies, plant babies, something that, or even sourdough moms. I don't know.
Damn. Hey, but I have a question. So, sourdough still got kombucha.
Oh yeah. What's
Hey,
that called? The
Kombucha, the SCOBY.
oh, SCOBY, yeah,
Oh,
SCOBY.
the commitment to keeping a SCOBY alive.
That's right.
Damn. But okay, I'm just very curious. So we're all new, in that sense, parents or like owners to pets in this realm. What was your life before this or after this?
My life before this, ratchet. Ratchet girl.
Honestly, did we ever go home early?
No, I am a totally night owl, and you know, I don't pop bottles lah, but now I pop milk bottles. It's just, you know, it's also 2-3 o'clock, and then you still have to, you know, walk in the dark, and then you have to make some bottles.
It sounds familiar.
It's the same. Is it the same for fur kids, or is it slightly different?
To be very honest, right, this is where I say that I feel like our lives are like as if we are parents to newborns. Because in the past, I mean, now that married, we moved out and everything, right? Honestly, okay, I mean, I've rented for quite a period before I got married and moved into my current place as well. And honestly, did I ever care what time I went home? No, right? Were there any restrictions on what time I had to meet my friends and stuff like that? No. We could go for dinner, go for drinks, go for third round of drinks.
Or even go overseas like
go sing
randomly.
K. Oh yeah, or
Yeah.
like random spontaneous weekend trips and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I mean, we don't talk about the bigger things like holidays and stuff like that. We just talk about the day to day. Like
Yeah.
I didn't have to think so much. Like my day was truly, do I have energy for yoga? Yes, okay, let's go. Or like, am I hungry now? Yes, okay, I'll go and eat. And that was like pretty much my life. Like I live day by day. I make plans on the fly, and that was pretty much it. Now,
No.
，now
不可能，绝对
Oh,
不可能。
The other thing, I used to wake up whenever I felt like it. I mean, don't talk about weekdays where we do wake up for work. On the weekends, like, I can wake up at 12, 1 o'clock and like, I wake up, oh, it's lunchtime or whatever, right? Now, have I woken up past 10, 9, even 8 o'clock? I don't think so. Not in a very long time. Recently, it's been okay for 10 because like my dog's getting used to it. But at the start, on weekdays, like I used to wake up at 8:15 to leave the house at 8:30 and reach office by like 9:30. Now, for me to leave the house at 8:45, I have to wake up 1.5 hours earlier. Go through a whole morning cycle with the dog of like, I wake you up, I clean you up, I go and change, come out, I feed you, then I go. And it's like a whole 1.5 hour thing, right? Then I go to work. And then after work, I can't just like decide like, my friend's like, hey, want to have dinner tonight? I can't because I need to go home and feed the dog, right? And I guess it's also because my husband works shifts and things like that, right? There are days where it's just me. I don't have anyone else at home to take the role of feeding the dog. So everything's dependent on my own schedule, right? And because everyone knows roster work, you cannot plan ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So can I make plans with friends at this point in time? No. Can I go out after work when I feel like it? No. Can I leave the house earlier in the morning to go for yoga? Also no. Because then what time do I feed my dog? Will she eat at 6 a.m? No. Right?
But she doesn't wake you up, right? It's just you wanting to feed her before you do anything else.
I think so on a weekdays basis. I think she got used to being fed before we go out. Because again, we're out for 9 to 10 hours. Mm-hmm. And in Singapore, we don't have the luxury of going home during lunch to feed the dog and then go back to work, right? So I have to feed her before we leave the house. Else, she's not going to have anything in her stomach since her last meal, which was dinner the night before, until I get home at 6 o'clock and feed her dinner
so poor
again.
thing.
Right? So I have to feed her before I go to work. So in the mornings on weekdays, to be very honest, I think because she's a bit used to our schedule also, she wakes up a bit earlier than our alarms. So then the problem was on the weekends because we don't want to set alarms on weekends. But once she's up, she's like, I'm up, play with me. And then she starts barking and you're like, I don't know, gonna complain from my neighbor again. So we will get up and try to like, go and attend to her. So that was, I think, our lives for honestly the last 4 to 5 months. Only recently it's gotten a bit better. Where like, for example, today, milestone moment everybody, I woke up at 10:30 without an alarm and my dog had not barked at that point in time. Honestly,
congratulations. Congratulations.
Milestone moment, okay?
Some claps, yo.
Yeah. So to be fair, we all slept very late last night also. So I guess she was also tired. But it's a process lah, honestly. So if you ask me, was there a difference? Am I like bringing up a baby at this point in time? I would think yes. Like it almost seems like it, right? I hear all of y'all waking up damn early.
No. Because for baby kids, right? Like I mean like not baby kids, I mean human kids. Freaking come into your freaking room. If you're in a different room, they will just bang on your freaking door and just Mama, Papa, Mama, Papa, and scream until you open the door, and then they'll proceed to like jump onto you. If you're sleeping if you're co-sleeping in the same bed.
Oh, that's it.
够力喔，跟你讲。You wake up to like a jumping kid, like the butt on your face, but like a full diaper on your face.
But I think that's also why, until today, we don't have our dog sleeping in our room.
Oh yeah, that's also another choice for parents and also...
Correct, and for kids. Like co-sleeping, be it for kids or for dogs, right? Everybody has this assumption that our dog sleeps with us. All my friends have asked me.
Why?
I think because, to be fair, most of my friends, their dog sleeps with them. Be it in their room on their own bed or in their bed. Yes, I see your expression looking at me like the germs. I cannot with the germs, right? So, and honestly, a dog bathes once a week lah, okay? So, there's no way...
I didn't know that. I don't have dogs.
Dog cannot bathe every day because you'll dry their skin out. So,
okay.
Yeah, in Singapore, because it's humid and all, we do it about once a week lah, there about. In the US, they can go 3-4 weeks without bathing. Oh, don't ask me how, very disgusting, because they run around like everything. Okay, but
yeah.
But yeah, so in Singapore, I bathe my dog once a week. Every day I go out, I come home, I need to wash my feet. Before I sleep on my bed, I need to bathe, clean, change to clean clothes, and then go on my bed. Outside clothes are not allowed on my bed. You think I'll allow my dog on my bed?
Virgos.
Yeah, okay. So, but there are a lot of people who have their dogs sleeping with them in the bed, have their dog sleeping with them in their room, but on the floor. And I think for me, the one reason that I didn't want that, and I think my husband agrees as well. And I mean, I was the one who wanted the dog. I had to get my husband on board. So most of the decisions come from me, and I also have to take his preferences into account. But personally, just for me, I wanted a space that was just for the two of us. I didn't want to have a situation where we have one more thing on the bed with us. You know what I mean? And I don't want to. Not that I don't want to, but it's just like it's just our space, lor. Like we can be ourselves, right? So that was my own boundary that I didn't want my dog in my room. And
But why do you want a dog though?
why do I want a dog? I think for companionship, pretty much. I think for me, growing up, my cousins always had dogs. I grew up around dogs because every time I met my cousins, which was every week, like I was really close to my cousins, there would always be dogs there. And so that was kind of not all I knew, but I was also always envious that my cousins had dogs and I wasn't allowed to have one because my mom's scared of dogs, right? And throughout the years, I've always received great comfort from dogs. And these dogs aren't even my dogs, right? They're my cousin's dogs. But when I go over and like, I mean, I've gone through moments of like extreme hurt or like real disappointment, true disappointment. And it's like this the kind where you don't need to explain and the dog just sits by your lap or like by your feet, like licks your leg and doesn't do anything and they don't ask for anything. Hey, don't look at them.
Licks your leg though.
It's just the comfort of
This sounds nasty.
hey. But I think it's the comfort of having just I don't want to say someone, but like something there. Like
Someone to lick your leg.
Yee! Yuck. But yeah, so I think I've always wanted, and like a lot of people say you might want a dog and you don't understand the commitment that comes with having your own dog, right? Because dogs, pets, like kids, they are great when they're other people's. When you can return them at the end of the day. When you don't have to care about 把屎把尿, making sure they are fed, making sure they are not sick. They're great when they are in the mood to play. And then when they start to be difficult, they cry and you return them to the parent.
The same lah, like babies.
I mean, that's what I'm like with babies now. I like playing with kids. I'm great with playing. Okay, I don't want to praise myself, but I think I'm quite great when it comes to playing with kids. I think kids like me. I think kids quite like me, right? And I enjoy playing with them. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate kids, right? I just don't. I like being able to return them at the end of the day.
Yeah. I always like to say, like, before I have a kid, I always like to say, think carefully, guys. Because no refund.
I mean, yeah.
No refund, man.
Yeah.
No refunds.
I mean, pets also lah, right? So I guess for me, it was always that companionship. That
My apologies. Pets you can actually bring to SPC or something.
can lah, but that's not great lah.
But human baby cannot. You suddenly you hold the hand and go to like orphanage and say, hey, hi, I want to give up this baby. And then they're like, oh, why? Oh, where's the parent? Like, I am the parent.
Technically,
Can
you
be?
can.
Can be?
Yes, you can. You can.
Guys can let us know if it's illegal.
I
Sounds illegal, eh?
don't think it's illegal because honestly, I think they would rather you bring the kid to somewhere that they can be cared for than you just throw them on the street. You know what I mean? Like they want to give you resources to like make sure the kid is not like left on the streets. Meanwhile, dogs, some people just throw on the street also,
Oh, also true.
right? So
Also true.
yeah, so I think for me, going back to the topic, for me I think it was more for the companionship. And I have a husband, yes, but will the husband always be there, right?
But 狗比较早死 eh.
That is true lah.
什么来的这个?
They give you 15 good years and then like
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's just something that I always felt like I wanted. And it's also the kind, you cannot have, so even more you want to have. A bit like that. Because my mom is definitely afraid of dogs. So we weren't ever allowed to have dogs at home when we were younger. And when we go to my relatives' places, my mother haven't even stepped into the house, she screamed already.
So it's like a freedom thing to you.
A
like I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions.
bit.
I want to have these because
bit.
I have always wanted this.
I think that was part of the reason also.
Oh.
And then again, it was am I ready for it? Am I ready to give up certain lifestyles just to make sure that another living being can live a great life, right? So I think that was my reason for it. Getting my husband on board was a challenge, I would say. We have had the dog for almost half a year now, and when people ask him now, he still say, I still say I don't want dog. What? So frustrating to hear, cause like to me it was like, I asked you, and if you really did not want, if it truly was a hard no for you,
But you angry ma, you scared what?
I
As with
never.
all husbands.
No, but that's the thing. I never got angry when it came to mutual decisions. You know, there are decisions where it's
He's
two
worried.
it's 2 yeses or 1 no's, right?
Okay.
These are and I think like having kids, having a pet, names and stuff like that are these kind of situations, right? And so I always believe it's either 2 yeses, or it's a no go. As long as there's 1 no, it'll be a no.
Yeah, because there's only 2 of you what.
Exactly, right? And both of you really have to be on board, because I can't bring the pet up by myself. I mean, I could, but there'll be so much rage and resentment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a kid.
Exactly. So to me, it felt like if it was a hard no for you, then just keep saying no.
But a kid is different lah. Cause you really need the 2 people to make it happen.
That is true.
Not like I suddenly like I go and then find someone lah, then I have a kid. Doesn't make sense, right?
But hey, some people have it as a surprise, some people unplanned.
Oh, unplanned is me. Guys, unplanned is me. I was enjoying my life and then I was with like my husband, like the damn boyfriend, the current husband, for almost a year or so. I can't even remember the day. I mean, it's not very long lah. It's a good enough time. Then I just realized like, oh, I have a kid. Like I got pregnant, and then like my husband was very happy lah. He was very sure. He's like, oh my god, yeah. Let's go. Like let's go and we get married. All these and everything. To him, it was like he's a very interesting person. Like to him, right, having a kid is always in his like life plan. 他是觉得有 baby 很好吗？我要留我的姓啊 all this like the very very typical like very traditional mindset, Asian mindset. Yeah, I want to have a lot of kids. Like 我要很多孩子啦 this and that.
子孙满堂.
Yeah, 子孙满堂 all these things lah. Then like okay, I'm not like a hard no for it, but there's certain part of me still feel like 我不懂是什么嘞。因为你也没有带过孩子，你没有生过孩子，你自己也不知道孩子是怎样的，你也不知道你的老公会是怎样的爸爸，你自己会是怎样的妈妈。就是很多人都会觉得 you know on when you're looking at other people, 你自己会觉得我不要做这样的妈妈，不要做这样的爸爸。Then in the end when you're in the situation, you become that person you don't like.
Exactly. Honestly, you never know. You truly never know.
It's like I won't restrict my I won't show my kids like screen time and stuff. Then when you know when it gets overwhelming, then just 你静静啦，去看这个东西。
Not to everyone at whatever life stage you're at this point in time. Please beware of what you are saying, because one day it's gonna come back and bite you.
Karma hits you. I got hit, man. I got hit so bad.
It's gonna come back. I've had so many friends, my own cousins. Everybody said, this person is too extreme, this person is too liberal, I will never do this, I will never do that. And now I'm just like, you were saying?
Yeah. So back to the topic of like why is my husband a very interesting person? Because I was pregnant all the way until like probably the last few months, like 7-8 months, like the stomach super big already, ready to give birth anytime. And then we were having a conversation. He suddenly realized like newborns are not like normal adults. We don't eat like 3 meals a day. Sometimes you snack.
I know her husband. I can vouch.
Yeah. He was so surprised that we were just talking about it. And then I was just telling him like, 你懂你要晚上要起来喂奶的，你知道吗？他们2-3个小时喝一次。And he was like, sorry, you mean they drink for 2-3 hours or every 2-3 hours they need to drink? I'm like, 每2到3个小时要喝，不是喝东西喝2到3个小时。He was like, 要喝多久？ He freaked out. He went apeshit and he freaked out. I was like, no turning back, bro. It's already 8 months big, and then you want to abort mission, also cannot abort mission. It's illegal. My dear, it's illegal. You can't do anything. You just gotta suck it out and live with it. And he was like, So, yeah lah, I whacked him like, he was like, so shocked. Him like a wrecking ball. Yeah, he was very shocked lah.
Like a
wrecking ball. Yeah, then like confinement came and he was like, wow, all over the place, man. He was like, wow, 真的嘞，你没有骗我嘞。He thought I was joking with him, like
骗你有钱没
joking with him and say like 2-3个小时 because I you know I'm quite a prankster lah, so you really thought it was like a joke, but no, And for all of you who wants to have kids, but you haven't heard from anyone in your life, yeah, babies need to be fed every 2 to 3 hours. Yeah.
Pets, no need. Pets, when they are puppies, are young, very young, maybe 3 times a day. If you have a very small puppy, maybe 4 times a day, because their stomach cannot fit much food. But eventually they just need 2 meals a day, one maybe.
Yeah, it's also the same reason why babies need to be fed like so many times throughout
That's
the
true
day.
lah. Stomachs are so small. What can you hold in the freaking stomach?
they can't keep it, but they need a lot of energy to cry and annoy you.
Yep. So going back to like, is it easier having a baby, a human kid, having a pet? It's like, honestly, I can tell you, it's the same shit.
Your life, your choice. Your lifestyle, your choice.
Exactly.
Whatever floats your boat, guys. So if you are if you think having a fur kid is easier, you might want to think again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So maybe after you think again, you want to have human kids. I don't know.
Or you want to have neither. That's great for you too.
Yeah.
Double income, no kids. It's a good lifestyle. to
Nice
have.
nice I regret. I don't regret. I retract what I said. I don't regret having a kid. Like, it's different. It's just different. Like, but of course, you always think.
Okay, I think it's different. I don't think we regret having the kid or the pet, but we have regrets of what we could have done before we had this.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's a good save.
I think that's all for our first episode. Let us know if there's any other things you want us to talk about, discuss about, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you and bye-bye.